Hey, what's up? This is Cam from the Brother Slim, and we have another Aeon Trespass Into the Unknown update today. Pretty cool one. So we're going to read through this whole thing, and yeah, so we got Aeon Trespass stuff. There's some 12 Sins of Herakles stuff, which is great to see a little tease, and we're going to be getting a lot more updates of that once the current wave is shipped. And then another shorter dev diary for Enormity. So yeah, definitely a fun one. Update 56. A brief, glorious moment in history. Mass delivery begins. Shipping, narration app, video guides, online store, KFPM relaunch, and Enormity. That's a lot of stuff to get into. Hey guys and gals, this may be the busiest week this year yet. ATO reprint and expansions are beginning delivery in the US, with EU right behind. Narration is dropping. KFPM has been relaunched. Enormity's demo has gone gold. Let's get right into it. I don't think that gets touched on again after, so I'll be curious. Okay, so Argo at 0 health. Not gonna lie, every time they share these images, which they've done on various shipping updates, it gives me a little bit of stress. Playing with fate and the gods for sure. But yes, that is what it is. So, glad to report progress on all fronts. Here's the latest on where things stand for each region. EU hub. Ship's current ETA to Gdansk, butchering that I'm sure, is October 27th. We're prepared and waiting for the ship to arrive to hub. With the simplified customs procedure, the container should go on their vessel to the logistics as soon as they are unloaded. You know, probably as soon as get this, basically expecting packages beginning to get sent out on November 2nd. The US hub, things may be being delivered, and AU fulfillment is done. Asia hub on their way to respective hubs. Cool. Narration app. It's here and it's glorious. The codes for cycle 1 to 3 narration, as well as cycles 4 to 5 narration, have been sent out yesterday. Remember, you get a free 1 to 3 code if you have any gameplay pledge in this campaign. Cycles 4 and 5 were not in the cards back then, so it is not part of that deal. And what a deal it is! Over 100 hours of fully voiced narration with multiple narrators and voiceover, or voice actors. A full cycle unique soundtrack and sound effects. At the moment, cycle 1 and 4 are ready to go, while the rest will be uploaded as editing on them finishes within the next few weeks. The current schedule is cycles as CVE, cycles 2 and then 3. Cycles 5, 2 and then 3. Roman numerals. To whet your appetite, here's a sample. Cool. Very cool indeed. So, we are the most recent Aeon Trespass gameplay video of me and the boys. Won't have been up yet, but we are so close to finishing cycle 1. And once the cycle's completed, I was planning on going back and doing like a story read-through. I think I'm going to try and use the voiceover app for it instead, because it'll sound way better than anything I'm able to read. Love reading, but I won't sound nearly as good as this will, especially all the sound effects and everything. So would love people's thoughts on a series like that, of going through the story, just purely story, with maybe trying to get some visuals in the video too, because I want you to do it. I think it'll be cool. This was an important note too. If you have any trouble or have not received a code, please contact us by sending us an email to support@itustudio.com. I had to do that, so definitely do that if you are expecting codes and haven't received them, because as of a Discord message this morning, they should have already been sent out already. So big thanks to Kickstarter Gamer for sharing that in the comments here. Video guides. Finally, after months of anticipation, the time has come to unveil our official Aeon Trespass Odyssey tutorial videos by possibly the best board games rules expert alive on planet Earth, the irreplaceable Paul Grogan. You can find the video here or by clicking through the image. This is only the first part of a 5-part epic, with parts 2 and 3 coming next week. Huzzah! I took a quick gander at the first couple minutes, and it's a really cool video, which is to be expected. These Aeon Trespass Odyssey tutorial videos, filmed by Paul Grogan, have been commissioned by Into the Unknown Studio as part of their official game orientation. As learning materials for viewers' convenience and axiological neutrality, they will be presented to you ad-free with monetization disabled. Enjoy, and happy voyages. ITU team. Cool. Very nice. Sins of Herakles progress. So this is something that a lot of folks have been asking for in the comments, which rightfully so, but I do also totally get what ITU stance of it is not wanting to take any of the shine away from the current awesome goodies that are being delivered too. We're in the middle of ATO delivery, finishing up KF and launching Enormity, but I do hear you. You've asked us about TSOF progress, and I'm here to inform you that there is constant progress. Since last time we've discussed it, we've finished a second round of testing on the Summer Primordials and Titans. I've designed more Primordials that are waiting in the QA. Don't know what that was all about. I've also been hard at work outlining / synopsisizing the first several sins. So, by extension, working on the whole story structure for 12 Sins of Herakles. The progression through seasons and sins is non-linear, which proves to be a unique challenge, but is very fulfilling in a whodunit kind of way. And I think you'll have fun figuring out the overarching plot of the whole series. That's really cool. I am really curious about how the seasons are going to play. And with the non-linear aspect, because they do feel linear. So, yeah, I'll be very curious about that once we get some more information about the non-linear aspects, and I won't be surprised if there's a dedicated update to that. Because yeah, very curious how it's all going to work. Because in the campaign, like the seasons were laid out in a linear fashion, and difficulty seems to also be in a linear fashion. So yeah, we'll see. I'm very curious to learn more about that. Some of the miniatures are seeing a facelift, including some surprise ones. Line Eater's getting a touch-up while also switching to a 60mm base. Note that this did not impact the size of the miniature. It's still big and towering, but is made purely for mechanical reasons. Those of you who have played the demo, online demo, may have noticed one annoying snag. The tall grass tiles are 60x60, while the Line Eater has a 100mm base. This led to countless edge cases with the hidden mechanic. Not anymore. Cool. Sins of Herakles in the Web of the Moirai. Gone a little bit too far. Some say even gods bow to the wills of the Moirai, the three fates. Others that they are a convenient excuse for their ruler's cruelty. Whatever the truth may be, it is a fact some creatures in Hellas have a special affinity with the forces of causality. Some even claim to speak or act for them. Some hold such power over destiny that lineage is all but certain, like the thing the people of Earthia came to call the cattle of the Moirai. Although in truth, if such things as fates exist, aren't we all their cattle? Indeed. I freaking love how Marson writes. Just so poetic. I love it. And lots and lots of questions, which is always a good thing. Cool. So we got some awesome art. I'm assuming these are all New Titans. Looks kind of like the, not Dreamwalker, but the Herakles equivalent. And then this is a piece of gear, I believe. And yeah, can't really tell anything else, but cool. Very cool. The Cattle of the Moirai is a challenging winter battle, one on par with the intricacies words of Cycle 3. In fact, the Cattle, being affiliated with fate manipulation, will revisit some of those cycles' mechanics, like death by fate or the death condition. However, the way this otherworldly spider operates is wholly different, not only from Cycle 3 primordials, but from every other primordial so far. You see, during the Cattle of the Moirai battle, you'll be fighting on its giant web strewn across a precipitous abyss. You will not use battleboard spaces. Instead, you will tread its lines, minding not to fall, not to get webbed down, not to become a mindless tool of fate itself, aimed at your fellow Herakles. Very cool. Parasap. So we get some gear cards here with some cool AI and BP card artwork, looks like, in the background too. So it looks like a weapon of some kind. All the keywords are blurred out, but 1 dice, plus 0 to hits, red and black dice, and one little scratchy mark. Cool. Oh, from a parasite. Interesting. Spiderback. So this is the item that was in that last piece of art. Once again, cool artwork there too. So I'm assuming this helps you keep on the battle. Recursive bow, also very cool. So 2 dice, 4+ to hit, and a couple of reds, and then different fate mechanics. I will be surprised. Okay, we've only gotten into most of Cycle 1 so far. I think next session we might finish Cycle 1, which is really cool. Won't have any other spoilers for the most recent one, though. It was fun. With the plus fate mechanics, I'm curious if this is like a positive fate mechanic, where if your fate is above 4, it unlocks more powers, which seems on brand for the fate stuff. New gear will certainly help you move while fighting, leap from thread to thread, and climb out of the abyss. Shoot a moving target and reach it even if it ducks to the underside of the web. Oh, cool. Yes, that's a Lernian Parasite Club weapon you see there. Cool. We often get questions about the Fate Weaver type to Titan, as eagle-eyed players may have noticed her in one of the core game battle illustrations. I'm here to say that yes, the Fate Weaver and the Cattle of the Moirai, along with the whole 12 Sins of Herakles concept, were created all the way back then. Why do you think a certain region of Sparta is covered in webs? It borders Earthia. Careless Cyclops learn the hard way of what it means to cross the Moirai. Cool. I have not seen that yet, but have noticed on the Cycle 1 maps, I don't think this is really a spoiler. If you go to certain parts, there's teases to things to come. So for example, there's some kind of hints and teases for Cycle 3, just in like the coloring and artwork that's going on. And same with the summer season too. So yeah, cool stuff all around. And then there is, I'm assuming this is that part they're alluding to. Cool. From Cycle 2 or 3, whichever one it was. And then here we have looks like a Cyclops, which is pretty neat. I don't know if we've seen Cyclops anywhere else. And my first thought was, oh, goats, but these are sheep. So yeah, I don't think this wasn't a thing that was available in the crowdfunding campaign. So artwork for some sort of story, primordial adversary thing. I don't know, but it looks cool. Webby sheep cyclops. Very creepy. There we go. Online store limited release sneak peek. We're gearing up to add some new resin miniatures to the online store. I've heard you like the quality of the Rhodian Dreamwalkers quite a bit. We're fond of them too. And we have more fantastic sculpts from the same foundry. It'll be the holiday season before they drop, so let's be topical and Scroogey and visit the ghost of past, present, and future. Nice. So, very cool tease indeed. We have a Solon Spartan Dreamwalker. So it looks like the stats on the... Also, just really cool. So that last round of Dreamwalker, or just last round of Titans in the store, had gear cards, but didn't have the actual Titan sheet. This one does. So it looks like Rush is just the usual. Same with the movement. And I'm assuming these are the same too, although we can't quite see that track. But it does come with a gear, Hoplite Aspis. So 1 dice, -1 to hit, 2 block, which is pretty sick, a black die and a red die, which is also pretty sick. You may reduce suffered knockback and pushbacks by 1 for each danger mitigated. Place a break token in the creator's pool. So a really cool... Also, I just love that the symbol is the Aeon Trespass symbol. Love it. Then the sculpt is also awesome. Solon in the base game is cool, but kind of underwhelming in my mind. Like very much almost like a kaiju kind of vibe with the Tree Club. And this one looks really cool. Very dynamic. Looks like kind of end of cycle 1 gear, maybe cycle 2 gear. Very cool. Okay. The Swole Pursuer. This sculpt is killer. It's super intimidating. Like the first one's awesome too. Once again, kind of gives me kaiju vibes out strolling through the waves. But this one sprawled over top of all of his siren shells, holding a spear. And then it looks like the one might still be coming out of its arm the way it currently does. Yeah, super cool. I also love how the wings are more fanned open, which would make a really cool eyeball kind of effect that a lot of people have done, myself included. Vulture Bleeding. Vulture Beak. So that's some gear cards. Can't quite read what it says. It's provoke, ignore, flee. Maybe ignore fear. No, ignore flare. That's cool. So it's got 2 dodge, 2 symbols I'm not sure on. And yeah, pretty badass. Also, Tainted Nailbone. It's 2-handed weapon, 5 dice plus 4 to hit. 5 dice is pretty wild. We haven't seen anything like that at least. Ooh. Okay, this is King Diomedes, who I'm really curious about the yellow color of this, if it's maybe a sign of things to come, because this guy was going to be he was a stretch goal, specifically based on, I think, community or number of backers or something like that we weren't able to reach during the campaign. And Marcin basically said it was going to be a bonkers, insane, you're probably not going to win this fight at all, and coming from Marcin, that is certainly a phrase. So yeah, I'm curious if the color code there is a sign of things to come for some future release in the game, or like tier of enemy maybe, or items in general. There's an E-Jet Drift Cryptex, Ink Drift Cryptex, and then Jump Drift Cryptex. So not sure what that is, but super trippy and cool stuff. The sculpt is interesting. I'm not in love with it. I think I commented just the other day in a video I made for the Kingdoms Forlorn Pledge Manager about like how awesome the sitting minis in that game look. This is more of an example of what I was saying about like of how a lot of them kind of fall into looking very static and not nearly as imposing as they otherwise could. I think what's working here is definitely the throne and the little teeny tiny people, and the kind of inset and the stairs there looks really neat. And what he's garbed in, his gear and all that, looks really cool too. But the pose is just very static. This thing's probably also going to be huge too, so I am curious what it's going to look like in person. But yeah, so that's thoughts on that. Looks really cool. Do love the beard stuff going on there. The medley of sci-fi and ancient Roman Greek goodies of the Aeon Trespass world is such a fun mix. I love it. Okay, and was there anything else? Okay, that's all the teases for now for the store. KFPM relaunch, we've covered this in recent videos, so we shall scroll on past that. And last, but certainly not least, Enormity Design Diary number 4, action cards. Ooh, creepy, creepy critter. In Enormity, you play the role of an NASF astronaut on a mission to the derelict ship the Shepherd, lost to the void of space some years ago and now miraculously returned. In the previous dev diary, found here, I talked about your characters, the spacers, and the stats that define them. I mentioned something called action cards. Action cards are used to perform actions, and actions are the heart of Enormity's gameplay. This is how you move, shoot, scout, scavenge, and more. Yet, Enormity is not a card game. Let me explain. So one of the things I commented on before about these cards is it looks like a barcode up top. It actually is text, and it's just like a small / low resolution image, so it's impossible to read. I'm curious what it would look like in person, if it would also be hard to read, or if it'll be clear. So I did see a comment not necessarily being in love with the UI of these cards. I agree. I like the idea of it, but it feels unpolished. So I'm looking forward to seeing how this develops, and obviously the game's not in crowdfunding yet, and the big thing with ITU is updating and improving things as they go. So I wouldn't be surprised if this isn't final. I do like the general vibe of it and like what it's going for, but yeah, it just feels unpolished. Okay, so each spacer gets action cards, three from their character card and 3 from their current suit. They then stack them together and place them into a single card sleeve to create 3 double-sided action cards. Oh, that's pretty neat. So I'm just going to assume there's going to be some flipping involved then. Also, just one little aside, I love... So, Aeon Trespass, triangle. Enormity, oh. Good shapes. I love shapes. Okay. You always stack a yellow character card with a yellow suit card. You always stack a blue character card with a red suit card. Yellow cards are usually allow you to move and perform minor activities. Blue cards allow you to perform various specialized activities, while red cards allow you to attack. Important, these pairs function as a single card, so you cannot use both sides of a given card during the same turn, unless... ... Each character in Enormity will start with the same action cards, but as they progress, gain experience and unlock new cards, as well as new suits with new functionalities, a universe of unique skills, unique builds will open up to them. So again, can't read the text. Something about specimen knife? Yeah, can't read it, but cool stuff nonetheless. Lots and lots of symbols. Looks like a good use of space. And I do think these gear cards look better than the action cards. Okay. Each spacer will get 1 turn, during which they will play up to 3 action cards to perform various actions like moving, attacking, scouting, or scavenging. They will also perform other free actions and use spacer abilities, including stratagems. With Enormity, we wanted to break with the move and shoot paradigm and have your characters do more varied, exciting stuff. Between moving, shooting, reloading, and rearming, you'll be scouting enemies, security systems, and blips. You'll be scavenging gear catches, engrams, interacting with consoles, and hacking panels. You'll be sneaking, you'll even try to rationalize the things that are happening to you. ... Some of these actions are adrenaline actions, some are not. Adrenaline actions raise your adrenaline and allow you to leave spacer tokens. Some, like catching your breath, will simply allow you to survive just a bit longer. Once your spacer lives long enough to become seasoned, they will gain access to even better actions, including reactions and an Overwatch action you perform during the invader turn. You will take them, because you will need them. Cool, well that sounds very interesting. And then we have some sculpts. So we saw this fellow in previous art. The art was awesome. And that frickin' cranium looks sick. Throne skull, for sure. Kind of exoskeleton, we'll say. Exo throne skull. And then the multiple arms is really interesting too. So yeah. Very excited to see what's going on there. And that is a wrap for today, folks. Until next time, take care. Very cool. Yeah, so lots and lots of interesting things here. I'm definitely going to be doing a video covering the holiday store update. Likely not going to get anything. Budgeting is very important. And while I would love to have all the gameplay and these alternative sculpts for a game I love, it's just not in the cards. But it'll be really cool to cover it and kind of share thoughts and opinions once that's all available. And yeah, we'd love to hear people's thoughts and opinions on this update, because lots of really exciting things too. Anything that you're concerned or worried about, anything that you're excited about, and anything in between. But yeah, thanks for tuning in, and we'll catch you next time. Bye!